extent, I think. It's a good tackle from Butai. Nearly turning into pass down the left wing. Eddie there, who snaps that one out. Two players down on the pitch. One of them, Jonathan Toro. Referee just pausing proceedings. Medics may come on to check over a pair of players. See it again here. Innocent attempt at the ball from both, but collision that really sting. I think a clash of knees there.
I think Toro did so well that he saw the foot coming, so he had to just make sure he didn't slide. So Toro did a very good job. If not, there would have been a serious crash over there.
Looks like the two will be fine to carry on. Butoy and Toro slowly, gingerly getting back to their feet, but no requirement for an early change from Alexandre Santos there, or the opposite number, Mokoena. Both sides have already been in Champions League action so far this last couple of months and successfully navigated the qualifiers. Petro will join Etoile Toussaint, Al Hilal and FL side in Esperance de Tunis in Group C, whilst it's Group A for Sundowns. Take on Pyramids, TP Mazembe and Mauritanian first-timers FC Nouadhibou. All focus on the AFL for now. It's a brand new competition, which will mean a huge amount to these two sides. Part of the select few, this inaugural edition, featuring just 8 teams. Africa's very best. As Mo said at the top of the show, Sundowns came into this as the favourites, but so far it's playing out. Petro had the best of things so far.
I think Petro has been using the home advantage for the first Mamelodi Sundowns. And honestly, the player who has been very, very impressive for me so far is Roberto, number 27, who's been very, very alive. It's everywhere in the game. He created a lot of chances, he's keeping the ball moving. And so far, he's the best player on the pitch right now, number 27, Roberto.
He's moved into a more central position now. Had a lot of joy in that right wing, but it's now out to Eddie. He back with the chance to put the ball into the box. He does so, headed away, not quite getting the lift by his weaker left foot. Better now, all the way over to the left. Allowed to bounce out by Butoy. Calm head from the left back. Pedro Pinto. Centre back provides a stern presence to that Petro backline. Hasn't had to do too much work in this opening 20 minutes, but I'm sure he will be drawn upon sooner rather than later. It's his centre-back partner, Nito, there with the header. Safety first from Anderson Cruz. Maybe just an opportunity for Sundowns to threaten the Petro third here.
Okay.
Times in the game, build something.
I think it is certainly a very, very frustrating afternoon for Sundowns at the moment. But I think we got a lot of experienced players on the team. And I don't think they will be worried about how they started the game. They just keep down how they're processing the ball. Yes.
And it's one back well by Mendieta, who retains possession. Looks to find a teammate in the middle. It's cleared away by Pinto. Hopefully over. Yes. Sundowns getting the ball back. But Modiba, again, the number 17 now, running at Canito. Can't quite pick out Kalize. This is better from Sundowns. And they have a free kick as well, in a fairly promising position of their own now. So obviously better signs in the last few seconds, but with things how they have been going, what can Rulani Mokoena do before half-time to change the way that the match has been going?
I think it's been very, very early of the game, and they have their game plan. I think so far they just want to keep calm and then make sure they possess the ball to make sure they attack at the right time. When they are playing away, they are very, very
At Vistaprint.com.
Mokoena was the 2022-23 ESL Midfielder of the Year. Petro defense is Pinto holding off the challenge. Jonathan Toro getting back, doing his part in defence, but Pinto eventually with the block. There are 5 blue shirts to aim at in the middle. All well mannered for now. Ball's in low and cleared away comfortably enough by Anderson Cruz. Needed to beat the first man really there. First opportunity to put the ball into the box from the corner for Sundowns. There is Rulani Mokoena. We're pleased with what he's seen in the last few minutes, certainly more so than the opening quarter of an hour. Sundowns now starting to grow into the game and assert their authority a bit. More comfortable in possession. Petro are still looking to get out and push on from the front, and that's what they can do. When they do so, bouncing through comfortably enough for Williams. It is waiting for another opportunity to that early one, which could only find Williams and Surong goal, and about as close as either side have come. Cautious opening to proceedings.
I think Sundowns are beginning to get back into the game on how they were possessing the ball. It's making Pedro run a lot, and I think they are losing a lot of energy right now. And now they are playing at the back foot right now. So it looks like Sundowns is beginning to take control over the game.
It does look to be going that way. Now whether they can make the most of this spell of pressure. Back to Butoy. Flicked on nicely by Mendieta. Kalize going down, but no appeal for a penalty. Running out for a goal kick. It's losing footing, certainly. No question of William Suarez having any effect in terms of that. Call for the attacker. And now Gilberto on the right wing. His most natural position. 2 for company, finds a way through. And now into the box, and a brilliant save from Ronwen Williams. That is the biggest chance of the game so far by a fair way, and it's fallen to Guedes again. It was Gilberto with the brilliant work on the right. Picking out, picked out the right pass. But Guedes unable to find a way past. Great reaction stop.
Yeah, Gilberto has been lively in the attack for the Athletic. And that's the only chance they got, and it was a great save by Williams. Very great save by our standards.
Great reactions. Left hand, strong left hand, out to push that out for a corner. And now another opportunity to make the most of the set piece for Petro. Delivered in. Comfortably headed away. And the rebound coming to nothing. Williams, you're reassured by first big save. First time he's really been called upon and doing what he needed to do. almost caught going the wrong way, but agile enough. He said he's not the tallest keeper, but that's the agility you get as a shorter keeper. The ability to react as quickly as that.
That was great reflexes from Williams. You know, in a team like that, you need a goalkeeper who can save the day like that. And this is why he's the number one for Sundowns.
Well, he is, and he's shown exactly why he is. Hugo Marquez yet to be called on quite so thoroughly at the other end, despite a better spell for Sundowns in the past 5 or so minutes. They're pressing higher again now. Petro finding a way out. I think the yellow card has been pulled out again by the referee. Claims of an elbow from the Sundowns players. Have to wait and see the replay. I didn't see it in real time, but it's Gilberto who has gone into the book. A shrug of innocence. We'll see again here. Oh, it is a hand into the face of Kalito Mudau. Certainly not an elbow. No malintent, I don't think, just trying to shield the ball. But with a hand into the face, the referee well within his rights to produce the yellow, and Gilberto another now. He'll have to keep an eye.
It's rather unfortunate he's got a yellow card right now. He needs to be very, very careful. He started the game very well. He's doing match runs. He's creating a lot of opportunities for Petro Atletico, and you cannot afford to lose a player like him right now.
It has been certainly the clearest attacking threat for Petro in the first half an hour of the game. I'm sure it won't affect him quite as much as Rankikana at the other end, the yellow card. But is it as a player, in your experience, is it in the back of your mind, even as a forward? Do you not throw yourself into challenges or give the opportunity to the referee to give that second yellow?
No, as a striker, strikers don't do so many tackles, but sometimes situation like that can happen again in maybe in the other stages of the game, and you might never know. But we don't normally get worried when we get yellow card like that.
Certainly less so than a defender. Gilberto, for now, have to be doing a bit of defending as it comes down the left wing. A free kick goes the way of Petro. Mkalize just catching the heels there of Eddie. A chance for Petro to push up the pitch and gain some territory and show the kind of attacking prowess they showed in the early stages. The throw on the right, which will be Petro still with possession. Anderson Cruz, plenty of space at left back. Played forwards, chested down by Gilberto. Eddie with space again, looking for another dangerous delivery from the right. Fullback getting forward and threatening a lot. He's giving that man, Abdelmunaim Boutoi, a tough task so far in the opening half an hour.
And Petro Atletico is operating on the left side of the defense of Sundowns, and they are getting some success there.
They are having some joy, and Gilberto with the header at the near post. Only able to find the side netting. Difficult to get such a deft touch on the header. Knock it back across goal, but he might feel he should have come a little closer than that.
He's getting a good game. Gilberto, he's been, as we said earlier, he's been a very, very good threat for Sundowns defense, and he needs to try and get a goal.
That is it, and that is the case for both sides. Just lacking that finishing touch so far in this game. Some nice moves, some nice interplay. Boutoi frustrated, pounding the ground there after giving away another free kick. frustrated with himself, but seems to have evaded the referee's yellow card. Once again, just a trading leg.
So he needs to be very, very careful. This is the second time keeping this kind of tackles. Very careful.
It's Toro again he's clashed with, and yeah, that could be a final warning from the referee that we saw as he had a word with the wing back. Canito driving into the Sundowns half. Cruz, the ball in towards Gilberto. It's over his head. And the effort from Toro just outside the box. It's gone well over in the end. It's optimistic, but set up nicely for the volley.
Yeah, it was a nice setup, but got it technically wrong. But I think it was a great move from Petro Atletico. They've been very, very good in this 32 minutes of the game. They've been able to show the way they are playing at home.
They have. Now it's about whether either side can strike before half-time. As the cliche goes, it's a good time to score. Changes the half-time team talk dramatically for the opposition if you can just snatch that goal. And Sundowns playing themselves into trouble again. It's Gilberto who's won the ball, lays it off to Toro. His shot dragged wide. Another opportunity goes begging for Petro and for that man, Jonathan Toro. This is perhaps lacking the experience of Thiago Azulao and that clinical touch.
Once again, Gilberto has showed his presence once again. He's been a threat.
Back towards Zwane again, but just a loose touch, allowing players queuing up on the edge of the Petro third. Now space on the edge, and the shots wide of Hugo Marquez's goal. Hand of apology from the captain. Zwane knows where the goal is, knows how to hit the back of the net, scored in the Champions League semi-final. He is one of the longer serving members of the Sundowns squad. Part of the winning side, the Champions League winning side in 2016.
This game there hasn't been a lot of shots on target. I think there's been just one shot on target. And when it happens like that, the fans, they have to improve on their game, make sure there's a target to keep the fans alive.
The atmosphere is still decent at the moment in the Petro Stadium, but absolutely could do with some shots on target to really get things going and get the carnival atmosphere that we know that they can produce here in Luanda getting into drive. And this could help. Petro on the attack, played left by Carlinhos. Cruz forward to Gilberto, who holds off Kekana. The two men on the yellow cards, giving each other good amounts of space, a little cautious. Nonetheless, Petro with the throw, maybe an opportunity for a long throw. It is into the box by Cruz. Gilberto leaves it to Toro. I think handball the decision against the Honduran. A wry smile from the attacking midfielder. As Asamoah mentioned before the kickoff, it is that lack of goals in the Petro attacking setup that's becoming noticeable now. Toro and Guedes with only a few goals between them so far this campaign. And I wonder if we will see Azulao sooner rather than later. But for now, it's Sundowns on the attack, looking to break the deadlock themselves, but the ball over the top. And Movida just skidding away. Nkalize, the right idea, just not quite the right execution.
Yeah, there hasn't been any good execution right now, apart from the shot on goal that Guedes got. That was the begging chance. That was the only chance of the game right now. And they need to just step up the game and playing at home. Although they've been very, very good they've done a couple of moves, which was very, very encouraging. But you need to get shot on target. You need to get goals.
The game does need a goal, and I'm sure it will come alive once we get the first one. Hopefully we do get one. For now, 7 minutes remaining the first half. Gilberto lays it off. He looks the most likely source of that first goal. But it's space on the right for Eddie. Back to Gilberto. Cuts this way and that. And finds Toro in the middle. And that'll be a big decision for the referee. And he has pointed to the spot. And now, surely, we will have our biggest chance yet of breaking that deadlock. Bang to rights, I think. We'll wait for the replay. The Sundowns players protesting their innocence. But Toro certainly caught. A little clumsy.
We spoke about Gilberto. He's the life wire right now in the team. He's somebody who's making things happen in the attack of Petro Atletico. And he was able to use his 1v1, get the cross in, and then there was a penalty right now. We don't know yet whether it's going to be a penalty or not, but there was an individual brilliance from Gilberto.
VAR will check over the incident, of course. Alexandre Santos will hope they don't see anything that requires a change in the referee's decision. I think it will remain as a penalty. We saw a disappointed Rulani Mokoena on the sidelines. There is, of course, a long way to go in this match, but
it's been given.
It is confirmed Petro will have an opportunity from the spot to grab the first goal of this quarter-final tie. Still, Sundowns players contest the decision. Of course, Captain Tempuzvane within his rights. Antel Munaim Butoy as well, getting his point across, but hard to argue with the decision. As you said, Gilberto making the difference again. Toro getting to the ball first.
I think it's Gilberto who's going to take it right now.
And you are right in thinking so. Gilberto standing over the ball. Roman Williams reminded to remain on his line by the referee. Of course, if he comes off, VAR will spot it, and the penalty kick would be retaken if he had made the save, of course. So now, Gilberto versus Williams. A deep breath. Now, can he hold his nerve? Gilberto saved by Williams, and the rebound as well. Williams the hero once again for Sundowns, and he punches the air and is rightly mobbed by his teammates.
It's very unfortunate Gilberto missed the penalty. You know, he's the best player on the field right now. He will be very, very sad right now. It's psychologically it's gonna affect him right now. But hey, you cannot take anything away from Williams. He made 2 great saves. You know, he's been able to keep the team. He made a very good save during the game. He's been brilliant for Mamelodi Sundowns. He's also the best player for Mamelodi Sundowns right now. He's been able to keep them in the game on 3 occasions.
Absolutely, he has kept them on level terms. Referee just wanting to get something under control here. Had to retake the corner, but Williams guessing right. And as you say, Gilberto will be hugely disappointed. All the promise he's shown in this first half would have been a justified reward at the opener, but unable to do so. And again, Gilberto on the end of the cross. Or no, in fact, apologies, it was a different bleach blonde head. There is the penalty again, which certainly was Gilberto. Williams diving right, and then the reactions and the reflexes to get up and ensure that the rebound wasn't put in.
That was a poor kick from Gilberto.
It wasn't the best, lacking a bit of power. Precision either to compensate for the lack of power, not there. Taking nothing away from Ronwen Williams, though. Now Gilberto, we have to try and put that behind him. How much will that linger in your head as an attacker for the rest of the game?
I think we have about 5 minutes to the end of the first half. He needs to just make sure be himself. I think it's going to affect him. He's human. I've been there before. You know, it's going to affect him again, but everything will depend on him. He needs to just like he's being the best player on the field right now. He's been doing well. That should even motivate him to make sure he keeps going. We have a lot of minutes left.
We do. We have, well, 2 until half-time, but then another 45 for Gilberto to make amends. And he is immediately looking to get back on the ball. Certainly not shy. Comfortable with the ball at his feet. Looking to take on players. Inacio Miguel was the man who put the header from that corner over. Almost as big a chance. Totally unmarked. And these are the chances that Petro could be punished if they are to continue to fail to take them. One back, though, by Miguel. See the passing, it's actually Sundowns who are on top in that particular stat, despite Petro's more increased attacking through the first 45 minutes. Sundowns have been playing the safer passes, though. Once again, winning the ball. I think Petro having more joy on the right-hand side than the left so far in this game. Of course.
Exactly, and they've been having a lot of success there. That is where all the dangerous balls have been coming from. And it's rather unfortunate. They should have been a goal or 2 up by now, but you cannot take anything away from Williams. Williams have kept Sundowns in the game. It hasn't been a very good afternoon for Mamelodi Sundowns, to be honest. You know, but this is football, and this is what we want to expect. Sometimes the underdog can also perform, and that is what we are seeing right now.
It is, and that could be, though, the moment that gives Sundowns the incentive and the belief that they can come out on top in this first leg. Having survived the penalty, there'll be 2 minutes added on for potentially either side to grab the first goal of the game late on. Cleared away, Sundowns lifting the ball back in towards the Petro area. Allende flicks it on. Mkelize unable to keep that away from Inacio Miguel. And it's quickly back with Sundowns again, winning the ball back as soon as they lose it. And looking to end this half, the stronger of the two. Run forwards from Mokoena. He said the centre-back can play in midfield, and you can see he's not afraid to take on players, and in fact is the highest man putting pressure on his opposite number, the other number 4, Pedro Pinto, pushing all the way on, and that pressure winning his side of throw. Or not quite winning his side of throw. The spin on the ball, keeping it in.
Interesting thing is you can see McQueen right there. He's just supposed to be the holding midfielder, but he's pressing very, very high in front of everybody, and it's been very, very interesting.
As is Allende, who's won the ball back. It's played forwards by Mendieta. One in the middle. Mkhize waits for it. Another appeal from Mkhize. A clear demonstration there to the referee that my arms were always behind my back. Nonetheless, that won't stop them making their point. It does appear to clip the elbow of Canito. His hands were behind his back. Arms not in an unnatural position. Of course, VAR there to check that over. I think he'll probably get away with that one.
I'm also very sure because he had his hand behind him. And yeah, the ball came straight to his hands, but to his elbow. I think because his hand is behind him, I don't think there should be anything specific about it.
Well, nonetheless.
in the Sundowns team.
Well, you know him better than most, so we'll see if you're right. And there are certainly options on the bench. We've got Gaston Serino. He had an impactful cameo in the Telkom knockout game against TS Galaxy. Scored a late equaliser there. We'll see if he's introduced late on, can have a similar impact on this game. So a look back at the first half of this second quarter-final between Petro De Luanda and Mamelodi Sundowns. The first leg was played in Luanda, and they did have the better of the first half. Sundowns often looking to play the ball out from the back and nearly being punished there. Gilberto often a live wire, pouncing on people. Roman Williams making amends though for playing his defender into trouble. Sundowns did venture forward on occasion and threatened Marcelo Allende. A nice ball in. The header drifting well wide though. Sundowns' best spell of the game came about halfway through the first 45. They pressed on. Junior Mendieta, the shot blocked. Pedro Pinto, as ever, solid at the back for Petro. Down the other end, Gilberto causing problems on the right wing again, picking out Eddie, who in turn picked out Jonathan Toro. There was another wonderful save from Roman Williams. Head in hands for Toro. Great reflexes from the keeper. Moving to his right, but able to quickly adjust and get a strong left hand out to parry it away. Petro kept pushing though. Gilberto, once again, dancing feet, finding Toro, and the referee pointing to the spot. No real debate about the decision. Toro certainly caught. Clumsy moment for Matobi Mbala, but Gilberto unable to make the most of the opportunity. A double save from Roman Williams, punching the air, and rightly so. And that saw the two teams going down the tunnel at half-time, still unseparated, 0-0.
Here's a fun way to hide your webcam. First, take a picture of your chair without you in it. Add it as an image.
They have their webcam on their gaming seat in one particular position, and then if a particular game has a lot of information there or something important in that area, they have a really hard time moving it to another area, and it gets very clunky, end up moving one element at a time, and all that kind of stuff. So today, I'm going to show you kind of quickly your camera around your TV. I'm going to show you an awesome plugin that of course make it look a lot nicer, a lot smoother, preset edition. You can really quickly move things around. I've been using this for quite a long time, and as you can see, it makes it really easy to move my camera around to different areas of my screen, and it really helps me to move the camera around. And again, the game has a certain element there that makes it possible. It's just really nice and having
So yes, stream without face cam by having people to work on. Though another suggestion I will say is that yes, you do need a face cam to get a real stream make content. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I go on Twitch to literally watch a stream with a face cam. I rarely ever want to stream with a face cam. It just ruins the chances of having an audience on, really. Like, you would rather have an audience with people in it, with a person in it that has a face cam. And I would rather click on those streams rather than a person without a face cam. Because face cams give more life to the chat, more life to the stream. Like, people get to see your reactions, get to respond to them, and all that stuff. So that's why I really recommend face cams, because you really build a relationship with the audience just by having face to face. If people, see your audience faces or anything, it's twitch.tv/plus18. Is what that is /plus18. Push me out of my bubble.
Hello and welcome back for the second half of this second quarter-final in the African Football League. Petro De Luanda take on Mamelodi Sundowns, all goalless at the break. And it was that man there, Gilberto, who came closest in the first half and immediately involved in the second after barely 10 seconds, threatening Ronman Williams. It was Williams who came out on top, though, when the two faced off on a penalty late in the first half. Williams making the save. And now 45 minutes remaining for either side to try and find a way to break the deadlock. Petro had more of the attacking play, Sundowns more of the possession in the first half. How do you see the second half going, Asamoah?
I'm very, very happy. I can see Gilberto starting up very, very strongly. And it's going to be a very, very interesting second half. Sundowns has been very slow started, and then they are still very, very slow. You could see Petro Atletico wants to win the game, and they started very, very strong. And I'm very, very surprised. And also, honestly, I'm very, very happy with the way Petro is playing.
They have been playing really well. And that's a nasty collision, I think. You see on the replay.
And also, to be fair, their centre defense of Petro Atletico has been very, very solid. You know, when you put Kinito and Pinto has been very, very solid this afternoon.
He has. That was a very solid challenge from Tibaho Mokoena, and I think the word from the referee was, that's your last chance for a yellow card. And with Grant Kekana also on a yellow as his centre-back partner, can't afford to make many more challenges like that. And we spoke about how Gilberto would react to that first half penalty miss, but the signs are good in the early stages of the second half, immediately involved in everything that Petro have done going forwards, as was the case in the first half. And here's another through ball for him. And is he going to win the race? No, just about. Williams, first person there. Gilberto wants it quickly, and Williams has got to get back to his line here. And he has done so. And Gilberto deciding against the quick throw in the end. Anderson Cruz with another long throw into the box. Flicks off the heel of Gilberto. Petro starting the half the way they finished the first 45 on the attack. Sundowns still hanging on a touch. We will have a chance now to regain possession and find their way into this second half. If they can play their way out from the back, which is something they struggled with on occasion in the first half, taking too many risks, I think, as they attempted to play the ball out.
Yes, they've been Sundowns has been very, very slow. I don't think they cannot string their passes together. The only time they keep possession is their half, when they try to invite the opponent to them, and they've been very, very slow with their build-up. And that is, as you can see, they've been very, very, very slow with their build-up.
It is a slow approach. Appears to be the game plan for Rulani Mokoena's men. Maybe they are relying on their performance in the second leg, but it's a dangerous game to play. I don't think you can rely on how you're going to do in the return fixture at home. Surely better to to try and take the win in both legs.
Yes, I agree with you. Maybe that is what they are planning to do. They're planning to make sure they attack more in the second leg. But you cannot think about the second leg. You need to think about what is happening now. And I think Petro Atletico has been dominating since the first half. But it's good for them. They've been able to keep their results. They're using their experience. They are creating fouls, as we can see right now. So I think they want to frustrate Petro Atletico.
I think they're doing a decent job of that. Petro certainly threatening more often than Sundowns that have been able to, but a few tackles flying in there and maybe showing a few signs of frustration. They know this is the game they really have to make count. It will be a tricky journey to South Africa for them in 3 days' time. I'm sure Petro aware that if they reach the final whistle here without having got themselves on the score sheet, they'll have made their task very tough in advancing to the semi-finals. It's Sundowns who are trying to find a way over the Petro defence, but another ambitious ball rather than one with any real clear intent there. And once again, it's a long ball, and that's the problem for Sundowns. They're just aiming for one man amongst a defence of 4 solid players.
Yes, that is what they're planning to do. But the defense of Petro Atletico has been very, very solid, in this game, and they've been able to keep the strikers of their box.
And they have. They might be tested again here because that's a free kick given away for the first time by Jonathan Toro. Both he and Alexandra Guedes getting stuck in from the front, attacking from the front, but occasionally a little too hard for the referee's liking. Sundowns now patiently building up in the Petro half for once rather than their own. Again, just taking the safe option for now. Mokoena pushing a bit further forwards once again. Our team sheet said it was a back 3 involving Mokoena. I'm starting to think that Mokoena might be more in a central defensive midfield role. Here he is now, trying to pick the right pass. And there's space on the right, but the ball just a little too light to reach Kilize Mudau. It's just the final pass that's been lacking for Sundowns, and on that occasion.
And if you check the team of Mamelodi Sundowns, they don't have a really centre forward in the game. So you could see they just want to keep the ball and make sure they use the midfielders to attack that space. But they don't have a proper centre forward in their team right now.
Once again, it was Gilberto attacking the space there, but ball bouncing through to Von Williams again. Sundowns, as was the case in the first half, a slow start, but now beginning to grow into the game. 5 or 10 minutes into the half. Pedro Pinto, though, strong again. You see, shielded the ball away for a goal kick under the pressure of Junior Mendieta. Nolani Mokoena looking a little more animated than we saw him in the first half. You see what effect his half-time team talk has had on his players. No obvious setup changes, but 5 substitutions available to both managers. And still the case with none used as yet. Now Sundowns on the left,
And
looking to pick up the pass, and it's a long-range shot which is tipped over by Hugo Marquez. The veteran keeper tested properly for the first time really in this game. A beautiful effort from range, which was dipping just under the crossbar from that man again. Mokoena is certainly not playing like a centre-back, wherever he is officially on the pitch.
Yeah, Mokoena has been scoring. This is the type of player he is. He tries to score from a distance, and that is he showed his quality right now.
It's a beautiful strike With a corner match up to that delivery. It's headed away by Gilberto at the front post. Brought down again though. Trying to flick it over. A number of Petro players looking to counter their home side, but one back by Sundowns in the Petro half. Given away though. Potentially could be costly from Butoi. The referee's blowing the whistle. And the free kick will go the way of Petro once again. May have been another cynical foul. It was not on camera. You can see as he tried to play the killer ball. Alexandra Guedes brought down. Not sure if Mokoena has gone into the book for that challenge. No sign of a yellow card as yet. He may just have escaped. But once again, testing the referee's patience, the Sundowns players on occasion.
Yeah, Sundown has been very, very compact. You know, they are slow. I can see they just want to keep their results. You know, because if you see their setup play, there's not any centre forward in their team, and there is only one centre forward in the whole team right now who is on the bench, who is Litro Cirino. You know, he's the only centre forward in the team, and that is why they've been able to possess the ball. You know, but you could see there is no centre forward in the team.
Well, centre forward or not, they are on the attack here. And cross blocked, seemingly painfully, by the Petro right back. Referee just over to check on Eddie. Putting his body on the line with threatening looking opportunity for Aubrey Modiba to pick out a teammate in the middle. Now Sundowns with another corner. Options from the bench. Warming up for Petro. Some fresh legs could cause further problems for the Sundowns defence, but right now it's the Sundown attack that we're focused on, but the corner coming to nothing, comfortably held by Marquez. Next to get counter attack away. Not able to pick out Gilberto though, and it's Sundowns immediately back with the possession. Game following the same pattern as it was in the first. Sundowns with extended periods of play. Petro looking dangerous when they try to break. Finding a bit of space down that left wing. Once again, it comes to nothing. Frustration, you can see, for Tembazwane. Evergreen attacker, 34 years of age, but still scoring plenty of goals for his side. Not today, though. Hasn't had many chances so far.
Yes, as we were discussing, as just said earlier, they've been using a lot of defensive midfielders and more offensive midfielders. You know, they don't have any centre forward in the team. So the game plan is to keep the ball, to rely on the mistakes of Petro Atletico, and that is what Sundowns is doing right now. You could see they are very calm. Sometimes you can see the players giving their players signs to calm down, to just make sure they possess the ball, and that is what we see right now. I think that is the game plan.
Well, it's a game plan that's been fairly effective so far, and at least ensuring that they don't fall behind, albeit with some good work from Roman Williams, making sure that's the case. And now on the attack, and it's Zwane again, waiting for support. Pulls it back to Mokoena. Petro passed it around the box, but loose touch from Mkelize. He does do enough, though, to ensure that it's his side who get the throw. Chasing down with Toro. Last touch coming off the Petro player. Modiba with the throw. Another ball forwards in the air, but that Petro defence is too strong. Aerially, it's going to have to be on the ground, just like this. And that was about as close as they come so far in the second half. Modiba picking his way through the Petro backline. Pinto
looking a little unsteady on his feet, wary of giving away a penalty. But in the end, Hugo Marquez not threatened too much in the Sundowns goal. And that high press from Petro is just becoming a little less obvious. I think maybe the legs tiring a touch as we approach the hour mark. They'll maybe pick their times to press in groups, in packs now.
I think Sundowns game plan, the game plan of Sundowns is beginning to be very, very effective right now. The game plan is to keep the ball, to frustrate Petro Atletico. You could see the second half, they are beginning to pick their pace. They are dominating with their possession. It's they're making Petro Atletico follow the ball. And Petro Atletico's attack has been very, very quiet right now. And now their game plan is beginning to work.
Could this be the combination of that game plan? No, Hugo Marquez once again doing his part. But Sundowns, as you say, with lots of possession, and the difference between this and the first half, that the possession is in the opposition half far more frequently than we saw in the first 45. And Sundowns are beginning to assert their authority, show why they were favourites for this match.
And I'm sure in the later stages of the game, they're going to introduce one striker, one centre forward to make sure they get the job done, because they're making Petro very, very tired, and now they are confused right now, they are frustrated. You know, I think that is the game plan. I think later stages of the game is going to bring up one centre forward to get the job done.
Might need a centre forward, because that is where they're clearly lacking in the finishing touch in the box. And it's also been the case for Petro, though. That man Gilberto most likely source, but even he unable to find the net when it really counted. And he'll be getting more frustrated now as the chances that he was producing and getting on the end of in the first half are drying up, and it's Sundowns who are doing more of the attacking. It's Zwane here, the space on the edge of the area, looking to lift it in towards Mudau. And now maybe Petro with an opportunity to counter-attack. It's where they've been so dangerous. Once again, Gilberto, the outlet. The ball not good enough on that occasion, not over the top, not beating Grant Kekana in the Sundowns defence. And we will now see the changes. A triple substitution, it looks like, for Petro. Alexandre Santos making his move. And what do you think these changes need to be, Asamoah, to bring Petro back where they want to be in this game?
I think he's trying to bring fresh legs to boost the offensive department of the team. You know, I think it's a very, very good decision by the coach. He wants to bring fresh legs. You could see the momentum of the game has slowed down. You know, he wants to just bring fresh legs to make sure they can bring something offensively.
Well, it's still Sundowns who are on the attack and looking to make the most of it. Allende bringing the ball to a dead stop in the area, taking his time, picking up Mokoena, who tries from range again, and his shot is blocked at close range, but I think the offside flag had already gone up. Surely against Allende, because Mokoena was a long way outside the area. There we go. We see the replay. Allende just making that run a little too early. Credit, though, to Pedro Pinto, who just stepped up and allowed the Chilean to drift offside. Mokoena with another long-range effort. Not afraid to try his luck from distance. See the distinctive haircut of Tocanero there. One of the more experienced members of the Petro squad. He will be making his way on, as will the most experienced member, Thiago Azula. We mentioned him before kickoff. He is a former top scorer in the CAF Champions League. And he is what Petro need to finish the chances that they've been creating. do you think it's going to make a big difference to the game, the introduction of a real centre forward for Petro?
I think it's a good decision, but we don't know how the players is going to react to the changes. You know, I think it's a good substitution by the coach of Pedro Atletico. You know, he needs attack in its first legs, and you can see right now the game is changed right now.
Immediately, Anzulo involved, looking to deliver the right cross, and that is the experienced head of Thiago Azulão. And it seems to be Gilberto who's still leading the line, but now supported by a legendary player for his club. Azulão, 35 now. Brazilian, recently scored his 150th goal for the club. And he's still going strong, despite being well into his 30s. 20 top flight goals last season to end as the Angolan League's top scorer. As mentioned, top scorer in the CAF Champions League as well in 2022. A man who knows where the net is, just like you, Asamoah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe physically he's not been very good physically. So I think within this time, the coach gave him that time to make sure he can deliver, and he just needs the finishing touches, and that is what they are lacking, as you said.
Yes, it could be the experience that plays out, and as you say, with the lovely bit of improvisation there from Junior Mendieta, nearly playing in as captain Tembezwane. But yes, the slightly less youthful legs of Azulão will appreciate the half an hour and allow him to have that burst of energy that he may have had in his younger years and create problems down that right wing, as we already saw immediately after he came on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you can see the coach knows what kind of players he has. I think physically, it's not being very good physically. It's something that the coach has been watching, and he feels like he can give him a couple of minutes the later stages of the game, and I think that was a very, very good change. And talking about Mamelodi Sundowns, they need a centre forward to because it's very, very easy. It has been very easy for the two centre backs of Petro Atletico right now.
It has been a comfortable enough day, certainly in this second half. Now, what can Petro do with the focal point of Azulão alongside the youthful energy of Gilberto? I think could be an interesting combination in attack, but it is still Sundowns doing the most of the attacking, and a lovely ball over the top, which is brought down by Mkhize, laid off, and it's through to Allende, and we do finally have a break to the deadlock, and it's Sundowns who've made good on their recent pressure, and Marcelo Allende who's found the net finally in the high fives. Understandably, on the sidelines, Rulani Mokoena will have enjoyed that.
He's a master tactician. I think he came in this game to frustrate them, to make sure the players are calm, to keep possession, to run behind the defense, and that is what exactly the game plan was.
Well, VAR will check that offside. I think he's just about in line. Should be okay. It was that ball over the top that they hadn't really been able to make the most of up to this point. It was brought down by Mkhize, Mendieta then picking out the right ball, and Marcelo Allende with the touch, and then firing into the top corner. Nothing Hugo Kids could do. Been producing impressive performances recently, Allende. And now another one in the African Football League. Captain Chile at the 2015 FIFA Under-17 World Cup and was team's top goal scorer. He was considered one of the top youth prospects in Chilean football. Made just the one cap so far, but this may be another demonstration of just what he can do on the big occasion. On the pause in proceedings whilst VAR check for offside. Nervous moments. But the goal confirmed. Sundowns are 1-0 up after 3/4 of the game. Now, do you see this changing the dynamic for the remaining 25 minutes or so? Will Petro have to go back more on the attack? Well, answer to my question, with that ball forwards.
Definitely, they should go all out to make sure they they get back to the game as soon as possible. But the way Sundowns is playing, keeping the ball, making them open up, experience is the key, and that is what we see right now. The experience is showing right now. The best team on the pitch is showing right now. They had a bit of difficulties in the beginning of the game, but now experience is showing right now, and their game plan, as we said, is showing. They are very, very calm with the ball and then keeping possession.
And they are, and immediately back on the attack, looking for a second. The long ball brought down by Mudau and winning a free kick. Took on Arrow's first involvement. Not the one he'd have hoped for. It's a little clumsy. Coming in from behind, trying to wrap his foot around Mudau. Giving away a free kick in promising position. And Petro need to ensure that this game doesn't get away from them. Probably a little far out from an effort on goal. But Hugo Marquez, nonetheless, will have to be wary of a direct free kick. A tricky one for the keeper here, caught in two minds between maybe an optimistic long-range effort and a cross into the box.
Yeah, very tricky, but I don't think it's going to be something dangerous. And there you go.
Yeah, well, Mondiba did have a crack at goal, straight into the wall, but it's still Sundowns with the ball. Back to Mondiba again. Swane, they're just passing for fun. This has been the game plan, as we've mentioned, for Sundowns, and now with the lead, even more so, I imagine, the case for the remaining 20 minutes. Whilst they have possession, they will still have possession in the lead.
This Sundowns team reminds me of when Spain was playing the European Cup when they won it without a striker, with Fabregas as a striker. That is what they are playing. They are playing without a striker, and I think they're having some success there. They started very slow, but it's beginning to manifest right now.
A false nine, so effective for Spain, and basically passing their opponents to death, and that is the way that Sundowns have approached this game as well, and it is working so far. To be careful of those occasional sloppy passes, though. We saw one there a few seconds ago. That's when Petro have looked at their most dangerous, when given the ball in the Sundowns half. Now they have to push on now. Clock ticking down. Under 20 minutes plus a bit of additional time for Petro to find a goal that will at least level things up here after they dominated periods of the first half, had a penalty, really should have been ahead at the halfway point, truth be told, but now in the final quarter of the game, they're on the back foot and they look a little tired to me.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, the game plan of Sundowns is beginning to manifest. That is the game plan.
But it's been given away again there. That's saying about those sloppy passes, handed straight to Gilberto. And Petro not able to make the most of it on that occasion, but I think that is the biggest risk to Sundowns for the remaining 20 minutes.
Yes, and Gilberto was the one leading the attack, and now he's not being lively in the second game. I don't know whether it was a penalty miss that is affecting him right now. He's the one pushing the team, and now it's like everything is dead right now.
We'll see what he can do in the final 20. Azulau on to support him, but given away by Petro, and Sundowns looking to break. Mendieta, though, caught by William Suarez, another experienced member of the Petro team. Suarez, 34-year-old Brazilian. Consistent presence in defence and central defensive midfield. Disrupts the attacks with his tackling ability. He wasn't able to do anything about that Sundowns opening goal. And Sundowns still yet to make a substitution. It looks like Petro will be making at least one more of their remaining two. But surely Rulani Mokoena will be thinking about bringing on something to shore up the defence for the final quarter of an hour.
I think they are bringing a offensive midfielder, so it looks like they still want to get a goal right now.
When it's Petro looking for that equaliser in acrobatic style. Not quite coming off though for Inacio Miguel. He had another big chance in the first half from the corner after that penalty miss. Defender getting involved at both ends. It will be a double change, in fact, so all the cards played for Alexandre Santos, all 5 substitutions made. Limping off, Jonathan Toro sees the end of his game. He'll be replaced by Jaredi Tejera and Erivaldo. The final roll of the dice from Alexandre Santos. Looks like maybe not quite all or nothing, but certainly going more attacking for the final stages of the game.
Yeah, exactly. They feel like Mamelodi Sundowns doesn't have a centre forward who can keep them back, so they feel like they can still attack more, and then they are bringing some midfielders and some more attacking options. They need to get a goal at least to be at the safer side.
They do, but we've seen how proficient Sundowns are at slowing the game down, making them wait, picking their passes, and here again working their way into the Petro half. Gilberto brings it down and nicks it away from Mokoena, and maybe this is what they need. Bit of space, and the delivery in is towards Azulao. Not quite getting the connection on their header he would have wanted, and simple in the end for Roman Williams, but that is the first time that Williams has been worked in at least 20 minutes, you'd have to say.
We spoke about Gilberto being off. Now that he just one move and he's been able to keep the team alive, so they need him, really need him in the team.
And he is the most likely source still, I think, for Petro. Looks the most lively. You can see Petro still have had the more shots and the more shots on target, but it's Sundowns who, from one of those 2 shots on target, managed to find the back of the net. That is the difference between the sides as we enter the final 15. Miguel plays it forwards, but miscommunication there, and you can't afford to be making mistakes like that. You see here the analysis of the VAR, which was why that goal stood just the right side of the final defender there. Marcelo Allende timing his run perfectly, and then an excellent finish right into the top corner. One you'd be proud of, maybe, Asamoah.
Yeah, an excellent finish from Sundowns. The build-up play was nice. The penetrative pass, the movement, and then the finish was great. And they needed this goal away. And as I said, everything has been working for them in this second period of the game.
It has been in control, and they're well on their way to what will be a very important away victory. As you say, that away goal crucial. They will back themselves to head back to South Africa and get at least a draw on home soil.
Which I doubt. I don't think they can. There's going to be a draw in South Africa, but anything can happen, though. I don't think so.
The bookmakers will certainly make Sundowns strong favourites in their own stadium. So Petro clear what they have to do in the remainder of this game. Have to score at least 1. They cannot be going into the second leg with a deficit to attempt to turn over. Gilberto dropping deep now. I think getting a little frustrated maybe. Giving away the ball to Junior Mendieta in the end. Kept it alive very acrobatically and a bit of improvisation. Finally, we see a first change, and in fact 2 changes from Rorani Mokoena. Numbers 10 and 33 heading onto the pitch. Gaston Serino and Tapelo Maseko. I mentioned Serino earlier on. Scored in their cup game earlier in the week, a late equaliser. Is he a likely source of a second goal, even, do you think, for Sundowns?
Exactly. That is what I was expecting, and he feels they are frustrated. They are frustrated right now. Petro Atletico is frustrated, so he needs a striker to make sure he finished the game, and he's brought a striker right now.
Well, a second would certainly kill the game for Sundowns if they can get it. See the fresh legs there of Tapelo Maseko pressing high and causing the mistake from Petro, and demonstration of exactly what Rulani Mokwena's thinking was. Those fresh legs to push from the front, attack the best form of defence, often the case. And if Sundowns can control things in midfield as they have done throughout the game, whilst also still threatening with a bit of fresh energy in attack, then they'll be looking good for the remainder. And could this be the second? And it is one of those fresh legs, and rounding the keeper, and immediately Maseko finding the second. As appeals from Hugo Marquez. Sundowns are still celebrating though. VAR will check it. Instant impact from Maseko. Mokwena very happy with that decision.
Exactly, you know, tactically he's a tactician. Everything he wanted to do, he's got a. This changes was what I was expecting. He did it, and then he has the results right now. He feels like he's in control of over the game, and he needs a centre forward to kill the game, and that is what we just saw right now.
Well, it was another tight call on the offside. I think just about level. Once again, will be checked by VAR, but all credit to the substitute Maseko. Onto the ball with the calm head to take it round the keeper, and then still a fair amount of work to do from there. A narrow angle, but he kept his head, and now surely Sundowns in pole position in this tie, 2-0 up with 10 minutes remaining, and heading back to South Africa, it would appear, with a comfortable lead. Still we wait though for confirmation of the goal. Glimmer of hope for Petro.
And Hugo nearly risked a red card right there, because his tackle was a bit harsh. If the player had gone down, he would have risked a penalty, a red card.
Yeah, well out of his box, and of course last man as the keeper. It's a good point. He didn't bring down Maseko though, and he stayed on his feet and found the net. Patiently we wait for confirmation. There's another player who went into the book during the discussions after. Wait to see who that was, but look what it means to Rulani Mokwena. Had to wait in this game. They were patient. They rode the storm in the first half when Petro had the better of things. They had a scare, they survived it. And how different do you think things could be? Well, there's the confirmation, in case it wasn't clear, made very clear by Mokwena's reaction. It is 2-0 to Sundowns. How different do you think it could be if Gilberto had converted that penalty in the first half?
It could have been a different story. It could have opened their team up. You know, they'll be trying to get back into the game. But hey, kudos to Williams, their goalkeeper. He kept them in the game in the first half, and now they are enjoying their moment. You know.
Yeah, crucial involvement from Williams, which has changed the course of the game for Sundowns. He might be called on again here, though. Of course, this game a long way from over. 10 minutes remaining and a reverse tie still to play. Sundowns certainly in a commanding position, but anything can happen in tournament football.
I've already chosen my man of the match. Is going to be Williams, because he kept them in the game, and then they've been able to. I'm sure they'll win the game. I've chosen my man of the match. He kept Sundowns in the game, and without him, they would have been down by 2 or 1 goal right now.
Even if Maseko comes on and gets a hat-trick in the last 10 minutes, you're not going to change your mind?
I'm not going to change my mind.
Okay. Like you say, it was all down to Williams that put them in the position for it to be Sundown who grabbed the first goal of the game. You can see they're still pressing from the front. not relying on this 2-goal lead. Continuing with the game plan. And again, Maseko running the line. And he has changed the dynamic of the attack for Sundowns. Looking a threat every time they get the ball in midfield. He's using his pace against some tired legs in the Petro back line. And it could get worse before it gets better for the home side, but back on the attack here. And Gerardi Tejera with fresh legs of his own, but giving the ball away. And we saw Sundowns doing more of that in the first half. That's another thing that has switched round from the first to the second half. It's Petro making more of those sloppy mistakes. And once again, I said, running the line. And Maseko looking to turn provider. Maybe Mokoena was who was venturing into the area. The pass, not quite as good as his finish a few minutes ago.
And Mokoena has already done an tireless job. He's done an incredible job. Defensive midfielder running everywhere. You could see running back. He's been very, very great for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Still using attack as the best form of defence where they can. They will all drop deep though. You can see the defensive line of 5 in navy blue, which is making it very difficult for Petro to find their way between the lines. You see, having to try and thread the needle. Gilberto picking out Azulao. Still, patient approach play from Petro. Something we didn't see much of in the first half. And maybe rewarded, no, saved by Ronwen Williams. Just another tick in the box for Mr. Williams in his match of the day pick from a certain Asamoah Gyan. A more comfortable save on that occasion, headed straight into the arms of the keeper.
Yeah, it is more comfortable. He had a great evening today. He's been able to keep the team clean sheet for now. The game is not over yet, but he's been able to keep the team in the game till now of the game. And not forgetting Coach Relani, his last 2 changes has been very, very effective. He read the game so much, and they are cruising right now, 2-0 in Luanda.
They are cruising, and they've only got 4 minutes plus added time to hold on to what will be an important clean sheet, certainly for that man, Ronwen Williams. But for the club as a whole, as they don't want to give Petro that hope of an away goal and having halved the deficit ahead of the second leg. And there's another sloppy pass. Sundown showing they're not perfect still as they play out from the back. That's been the problem for Petro. They haven't been able to punish those mistakes over the course of the 90. Now looking to create something of their own. Haven't seen much of Gaston Cirino since he was brought on. All the plaudits going to his fellow substitute Maseko, giving the ball away there. The Uruguayan. He scored the winner in the 2020 Nedbank Cup final against Bloemfontein. He's nicknamed AMG among the Sundowns fans in reference to Mercedes AMG. Not sure exactly why, maybe he drives one. But either way, Cirino playing his part now over on the right wing. As Petro still doggedly look to get something from this game. Surely too late to rescue a draw, but 1 goal back would at least provide them with some momentum heading into the second leg.
Exactly. They need a goal. They need a goal. They're playing at home. It's rather unfortunate they couldn't get a goal in the first half, but 2-0 for Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they should try and get a goal at least to make sure they are even comfortable in the second leg.
Well, Mirani Mokoena killing a few more seconds with another double change. The goal scorer of the opener, Marcelo Allende, makes his way off to a well-deserved round of applause from the away fans. And he's replaced by Rivaldo Curtsy. He's one of the defensive mainstays, perhaps surprised to be dropped to the bench. But he'll play his part now, at least in the final few minutes, ensuring that this remains a 2-goal win. Immediately involved there, Curtsy, as Sundowns do drop a little deeper. Mosa Lubusa, the other man, joining the fray late on. "30 seconds plus added time. Petro giving it away themselves, though. And once again, great work from the second goal scorer, Maseko. This change of direction, catching out Inacio Miguel. And they will maybe even have one eye on the semi-finals now. Of course, you can't get ahead of yourselves, though. Anything can happen in the second leg. I'm sure that's what that man, Rolani Mokoena, will be saying to them at full time.
Yeah, anything can happen in football, but I don't think something can happen in South Africa. They are cruising right now. They have a very good coach, good players.
And they could get a third here. 6 minutes of additional time. It's going to say maybe just a chance for Petro to find that extra bit, that second wind. Seeing 6 minutes on the board. A few more minutes to find one of their own, but Sundowns straight on the attack. And Audrey Modiba firing one in the direction of the Petro goal, blocked. Clear instructions, I'm sure, for the players from Rolani Mokoena, whatever that symbol means. And it's a corner for the away side. Look to add salt to the wound with a third. It's headed away at least high into the air by Miguel, not out of the area. And it's won back by Sundowns. Space on the left. Maseko waiting in the middle. Still, they don't rush things. The pass, a nice idea. But just beyond Modiba asking too much, particularly of a man who has been playing for 91 minutes now. You see credit, though, Modiba there, powering back into his own half, having just chased down a ball on the touchline. And it's that kind of commitment to the cause that's been the difference, I think, between these two sides. Sundowns just very efficient and very committed. And that's what's put them 2 goals up in this game.
Yeah, you can see their commitment, the character of the team. You can see they are doing everything together. They are defending together. They are attacking together. And the first half wasn't good for them, but you could see a better team right now in the second half.
Well, any chance of grabbing one back, sailing high and wide there for one of the substitutes. Alexandra Domingos Nguza Casulo. And there is a substitute who was on target, Maseko. Maybe making a good shout to be involved a little earlier on in the second leg. He has revitalised the Sundowns attack. And his pace and running between the lines. You see there pointing the ball over the top all the time. I think he's found something. He has the pace over the Petro defence and making good use of it. Trying to use his pace down the right, Jaredi Tejera, but just not quite happening for Petro in the second half. It was another tight call. The shoulder of Maseko, just the right side of the defensive line once again. And that excellent finish. Now Gilberto looking for at least a consolation in this first tie. Cutting inside, sent wide for a corner by Gakana. And Gilberto will be ruining that penalty miss now.
Yeah, it's happening sometimes. Sometimes even the critics, the fans, will be blaming him for the loss of this game, but it's part of those things. So, but at least he had a great first half. The second half, he was maybe he's been a bit quiet, due to psychologically.
Maybe. And it's worth remembering how much he gave to the Petro attack in the first half. But now it's Sundowns on the break and a perfect ball through and another opportunity for Maseko, but this time just leaving the ball behind. Credit to Petro for getting back deep into stoppage time. He couldn't afford to concede a third. That really would be game over for the second leg. You see one final substitution waiting to be made for Sundowns. Terence Mashego waiting to be allowed on by the referee. Seems he'll be replacing Aubrey Modiba. In the final minute, going through the motions. How does it feel as a player when you come on with 30 seconds left in a win? Do you feel like you've been involved, or?
Yeah, sometimes it's tactical reasons. Some players might not be happy, but it's for tactical reasons. To just slow the game and then buy time for the time to, of course, it's to end.
Playing the team game, isn't it? And that's what it's all about, and that's what Sundowns have done so well in this game. Now to defend one more set piece. Free kick lifted in. It's going to fall to Pedro Pinto. He lifts it back in. And Tyrone Golden, another brilliant save from Ronwen Williams. The flag has now gone up, but taking nothing away from the keeper and the man of the match, I believe.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed now. It's confirmed he's the man of the match.
Asamoah has ticked his team sheet. There was no doubt before, but another demonstration of what Ronwen Williams can do. Brilliant reaction save once again. It was a lovely ball through, just unfortunate that it was maybe even offside in the initial free kick. As it is whether Gilberto has played a part. Either way though, the final whistle blows and it is 2-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns at full time. An efficient performance which sees them head into the second leg with a considerable advantage. 2-0, the final score on the night. And there is your man of the match, Ronwen Williams. Any more words to add about that performance?
Great performance from Mamelodi Sundowns. They really started the game well. We saw the game plan since the first half. They were trying to keep the ball. And the second half, they got their way through. They've been able to cruise to 2-0. Kudos to the club, to everybody who was involved in this game. It was a great victory for Mamelodi Sundowns.
It is, of course, still with a job to do in 3 days' time. But as we've said, they'll be confident. They have an excellent record on home soil, and now a 2-goal advantage heading into the second leg. That man, Tabelo Maseko, might wonder whether he's done enough to play himself into the thoughts of Rulani Mokoena for the second leg with that late cameo and the second goal.
I don't think so. I think tactically it works really well for him, but I still think Mokoena has got a lot of work to do. He's got his players who started this game, and I think he's going to maintain with it, or definitely he's going to put more attacking option in the second leg of the game.
Well, we'll see. There was a need early on, justified, as we saw, to defend from a Petro team that came out of the blocks fast and could easily have been ahead heading into the second half, but for that man, Ronwen Williams. The lights have gone out and the party can start. It will be the away fans, though, who are partying. Petro with it all to do now in the second leg, and you can see the heads down. They won't be giving up yet, but they'll be disappointed not to have made better on the chances that they had in the first half.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of things going on in their mind right now for the second leg of the game. But going to South Africa and beating them 2-0, 2 goals, anything can happen in football, but I don't see that happening. they can win the game, but I don't see them going through to the next stage of the competition. But hey, they did well in the first half of the game. They could have won the game in the first half. The experienced team won the game tonight.
They did. The experience shone out in the end, and of course, if they want to even score one in the second leg away from home, they'll have to find a way past Roman Williams, which is far easier said than done. I wonder if Thiago Azula will come on earlier with the need for attacking football so clear in the second leg. He wasn't hugely involved beyond that first moment after his substitute appearance, Azula, but he has the class. So does that man, though, Mokoena. Classy head coach, and he'll be confident. How far do you think Sundowns can go in this tournament?
I think they can go that far. They've been performing since last year, since last 2 years, and you can see Rolani right there. He's been involved in a lot of things for the team. And this Sundowns team are well organized team, and they can go to the final and probably even win it.
Well, I know you watched the first quarterfinal last night between Al Ali and Simba. The winner of that tie will play potentially Mamelodi Sundowns if they are to come out of the second leg with the win. Who would you back out of those three? Because obviously 2-2 in the other game.
That's going to be a cracker. I still see Al Ali going through. I still see Mamelodi Sundowns going through. So hopefully, I'm still seeing these two teams meeting each other in the semi-finals. Hopefully.
Well, only time will tell. Hugo Marquez looks in decent spirits. Of course, been there and done that on the highest level, the experienced keeper, and he'll be disappointed to have conceded two, but maybe optimistic for the second leg. The warm down begins, and it'll be a long night for Petro. One where they might to think about those misses in the first half. I had to put that behind them though and come back with a clean slate for the second leg, particularly Gilberto. He showed so much promise in the first half, and he will still have all those skills in 3 days' time. It's just about putting that miss behind him and starting over.
I think he's the most player who will be very, very disappointed in this game. He felt like he let his team down. I've been there before. I know what is going through his mind. Although he had a great game overall, he had a great game. He was the one making the team alive. But he'll be very, very, very disappointed. And he needs his teammates right now to lift his spirits up.
Well, hopefully they will, as will his manager, Alexandre Santos. He'll have some soul searching to do between now and the second leg. His game plan looked to be working initially, but now the final score says it all. 2-0 to Sundowns. Petro, very accomplished team in Angolan football, but struggling against South Africa's best. Mamelodi with still more possession than their hosts, but that did close up in the second half. The shots, 17 shots, 4 on target for Petro. Only 3 shots on target for Sundowns, but 2 of them went in.
You could see, as we said, they were playing with only midfielders. They were keeping the ball. So definitely ball possession will go on that side, because when you have a lot of midfield players in your team, ball possession will be much easier for the team, and that is what we are seeing there.
That was the difference. Clinical finishing the difference, and 2-0 the final score of the first leg of this quarter-final. Join us in 3 days for the second leg. So a look back at the first leg of this brand new African Football League's second quarter final. Petro De Luanda hosting Mamelodi Sundowns. Petro started the stronger and earned themselves a penalty in the first half. Livewire, Gilberto played a part in it, but couldn't